Hello everyone. Tell me if you're there, tell me if you're there. There I am. We're back! This feels like we've never been away. I've met some very nice people, some very, very, very nice people, but you meet the nicest people in your dreams. It's funny, but it's true. That's where I first met you. You're the nicest, paradisest thing I ever knew. I looked the universe over, from Wackanackasecka to Dover, and now that we have met, how sweet it seems. I love you more the more I know you, which only goes to show you meet the nicest people in your dreams. Well, here we are back in the shed. This is so exciting. I think I might just fall off my stool. As you can see, the old oil radiators with us. Round of applause. Feels like Saturday night, doesn't it? Feels like Noel's house party, but good. Hope you're all well. Who have we got here on the chat? We've got Heather, we've got Jen, we've got Rachel, we've got Ian, Caroline, Aidan coming up, Richard, Annie Skates, hello, Lisa, Sarah, Mandy Man, Fran. I mean, this is just like the old school, and you've paid for it. What am I doing to you? As you can see, the camera's a little higher now. Technology has improved. I've met some very nice people, some very, very, very nice people. But you meet the nicest people in the shed. It's funny, but it's true. That's where I first met you. You're the nicest, paradisest thing I ever said. I've looked the universe over, from Wackanackasecka to Dover. Now that we have met, how sweet it seems. I love you more the more I know you, which only goes to show you. You meet the nicest people. You meet the nicest people.
You meet the nicest people.
You meet the nicest people. Meet the nicest people. You meet the nicest people in your Helen, Fran, Patricia, Mark, Grace, Mandy, Alison, Rachel, Vicky. We're off. That's it. That's all I'm doing. It's a 5-minute show just to say hello from Joe. It does feel weird. It feels like I haven't been away. But as you know, I have been away from you, my dearest shedders. Left-hand wave to those of you who are regular shedders. To anyone joining for the very first time, you get a right-hand wave, but you might as well get swapped over to a left hand, because it's incredible that you're here. Because if you are here, it means you're one of the mighty supporters. And the reason we are here is we are celebrating your fantastic support and pledging for this slightly mad project. What I've never done before. I've never done a Kickstarter thing, and I've never done recorded with an orchestra. Well, I have, but not a full album that is just designed and engineered to work with a full orchestra. So what I'm going to do now is switch over to the chat, and I'm going to say hello to everyone. We've got a lot of shaky yellow hands, which is everyone's favourite. It is so wonderful to see so many. 65 of you are here. That is incredible. And well done for getting the link. That was a technological marvel in itself, was it not? 66. We're rolling down the river. Well, I did ask you if you had any questions. I mean, at the moment, you're just all saying hello to each other, which is fantastic. This is like the right-hand chat equivalent of speed dating. But you all know each other. Hello, Auntie Liz. Linda Lassman's here. Richard Wilson. So this is just for you, guys. We're not broadcasting to the world, to the public. They cannot watch this. So it's all very self-indulgent, shed-indulgent, and it's all for you. So what I'm going to do is have a little chat, tell you about the album, tell you how we're getting on, and then we're going to talk about some of the rewards. Lots of you have already supported, and I really am not trying to get more money out of you, and we're not allowed to use that word, because I really, first things first, I can't believe how generous you've all been. It literally, it blew my mind, really. I mean, it blew my mind the first time when we raised that money for the NHS in the online shed auction. But now to do this for a project that is, you know, the good cause, I suppose, is the number of musicians we're going to use, the theatres we're going to get involved with in the making of the album, the general, you know, good feelings and good karma going towards the industry of creative people. But you know, intrinsically, it's a me project. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart and shed and garden. Sincerely, it really is incredible what you've done. And as you know, we passed the initial goal. So the thing about Kickstarter, I didn't know, is that you have to get past the first hurdle to make it sort of valid and kosher. So we've done that. And that was after a week, so you all just were brilliant. And now we're able, with this extra support that you've all contributed to, we're able to make the album even more amazing and to sort of make that signal. What is that signal? Normally, when you make an album or anything, a creative project, there's a lot of this, there's a lot of brow, and as you know, I've got a hefty patch up there, a hefty expanse of quite smooth desert in my forehead region. So it'll just take the pressure off, because often with making an album, you kind of ask people to do things for less than they should be paid. So with this, the more support we get, we're paying with the orchestra. They are the Metropole. They say how much they are, and you pay them that much. So that is a thing. But with everyone else, you know, the people I'm working with, the producers, Tom Richards, Steve Power. Steve, I first met, introduced by my friend Julian Villard, who I've mentioned in this shed before. Hello, Julian. Who's an incredible singer and songwriter from Brooklyn in New York, and he's now moved to LA. He's now moved over to the dark side, the west side of the United States of Stateside. And Julian's first album was produced by Steve, and I went to meet Steve to talk to him about Julian and see if we could work together. This was a few years ago. And I'd done some research on him and realised he was the guy who produced Angels, the Robbie Williams song, and all of Robbie's first few albums, Swing When You're Winning, Sing When You're Winning. I mean, the level of production on those was incredible. Plus he'd worked with Blur, lots of the Liverpool bands of the 90s. He's now worked with literally everyone, and he's just a great guy, and I can't believe he's working with us. Tom Richards, who lots of you know, plays sax a lot with me and has done lots of orchestrations. I can't tell you how amazing these arrangements are. I know people talk about this stuff, you know, and go, oh, the arrangements are brilliant. Most people, we don't really care, you know, we just want the music to be good. But you will notice, sorry, Mark's just asked who will do all the orchestrations. Yeah, we're on orchestration land. I hope you will really appreciate when you get to hear this record next year. So it's out 29th of April next year, even though we haven't recorded it. It's exciting, isn't it? Hello, Faye. We spent the whole year arranging these songs. And sort of chopping and changing the track list, because the thing about an album like this is when we started making it, we were in the depth of the pandemic, and I chose a lot of songs that were fairly, you know, hopeful, but also quite not soporific, inward looking, I'd say, melancholic. But I've realised that this is going to be a celebration. There are going to be moments of pathos and loveliness and strings and woodwind and French horns, 4 of them. But really, it's a celebration. And even when I'm getting into melancholy mode, we're still looking positive, aren't we? Because that's the thing. Have you all been to the theatre? Have you been? Has everyone been anywhere? Liz Lee says, will you have Tom and Ben on board? They're always on the ship. They're always there, stowed away in the hold. Sometimes under a couple of coats, but they're always there. Jen, no. I'm working on it. I think some of you are having your own conversations. Heather asks, will there be a Shed Carol show this year? Well, that's an interesting question, isn't it? Isn't it? I mean, I think you deserve another Shed show after your support for this. This is ridiculous. What does Heather say? Yes, Mandy Man says, that would be wonderful, Joe. Whoever is waiting for knee surgery, I wish you well. All of us in the shed, sending love and power to that knee. And some of you are watching this tomorrow, I know. So if you've had a knee operation today, and that's why you couldn't see the show, well done. Mark says he saw Tim Minchin. Yes, me old pal Tim, who I missed in Brighton because the 6-year-old got COVID. And she is being at home for 10 days, so that's been a thing. And she goes back to school tomorrow. Hope you're all okay, COVID-wise. I mean, I can't believe we're still talking about it. I'm just going to look to see if I've missed any questions. So what we're going to do, those of you who are unaware or just joined, 12 minutes in. I'm not going to make it too long, even though I said 90 minutes. I was thinking, I can't take up 90 minutes of your time. I mean, there's things like Rise of the Planet of the Apes on, probably on Sky Cinema, or there's Repair Shop. So we're going to have a chat, bit of questioning time, get sorted on all the album things. I'm going to talk about the rewards just to see if there's anything I can entice you with, and then I'm going to do 8 songs, I think. Yeah. So yes, all of you have supported, and what that does in the first instance is that goes straight to the record label via Kickstarter, have their own take of that, and it contributes to the recording costs. And as I was saying earlier, what we're able to do is to be able to pay people properly to record in the best studios, the best orchestras. You know I released an album, the Shed album, last year. That piano's just turned off because I've been talking for so long.
It's not real. It's actually electric.
And the Shed album, yes, so that was just me and a piano, and sometimes that's great, but I think this is all about the story of celebrating theatre and my relationship with theatre, my family, it being in the family and me sort of avoiding it for a while and it not being a great passion, but then I realised in the last 10 years only that it was everything to me, and being able to write songs and get them played by these incredible musicians. Plus we've now got to be able to hire the choir. Hire the choir! Hire the choir! So they will be putting their angelic top notes onto some of the songs. I'll explain that in a bit more as I get to those songs. And that's it really, that's the loveliness that we're able to do. Plus we can do some videos. We're going to do a documentary while we're out in Holland. Well, we'll be followed by a film crew, and I will occasionally go, what? I don't know. And that will be the documentary. And that will all be released when you get the album, whatever you've asked for, CD, digital, vinyl, just pumped directly into your brain by a very large audio mouse. You will get all this stuff as well, whether it's digitally or not. You can, there's booklets and stuff. It'll basically be the geekiest thing I've ever done, and full of joy and, though I've done vinyl records and we've done lovely packaging before, this will be something else. Mam and Pam, Faye's mum and Pam, hello. They can't get on the chat. Someone's watching Bake Off. Christmas show. Just looking for any more questions. I've missed some people. Who else is here? Richard Wilson. I don't believe it! I bet no one does that for you, Richard. Lord, Sir Richard. I just realised I can see the Dyson. Anyway, what has been lovely has been getting back to gigs and seeing some of you out there. And I know some of you are still unable to either get to gigs or feel like in a position to do that, to go to gigs. Ray Churchill asks, does it include a record player? I could get my dance set out of the loft. Hold me closer, tiny dance set. Yes, Ray, you can get it on vinyl. Pop it on the old spinny wheel. That would be lovely. Oh, Claire, Andrew and I are isolating. Yes, I've seen Claire at a gig. Lovely to see you. You're isolating at home with COVID. Hope you're okay. And Mark says, are you playing any of the Orkfest songs tonight? What's Orkfest? Oh, the Orkest. Sorry, I thought Orkfest was like some kind of Comic-Con convention for Lord of the Rings, but I'm not involved in that. Hi Joe, does the note on your piano light up? Which note? No, none of them light up. Sadly, that's my daughter's. Chris says, what is your favourite theatre show, Joe? The show I loved most watching online, and I know some of us took a while to get used to it. Hello, by the way, people who've just joined. 78 of you, lovely. 77. Come back, the 78th. Yes, live streaming theatre, it's a tricky one, isn't it? I mean, it has to be really engrossing, it has to be really good, because there's something about being at the theatre, that just puts you in the mood. It's like being in the cinema, it's like going to a swimming pool. It's very difficult to swim upstream, on stream. That was a joke that could have been worked out better. It just came to me. So yes, there was a National Theatre play called Small Island. I hope I've got that right. Someone, I'm sure Lizzie can tell me if I've got that right. Which was absolutely bewitching and incredible. It's it revolves around the story of the Windrush generation of that part of history and this country, and it was just beautiful. But theatre show ever, Chris? Obviously one of my dad's. Dad, if you're listening. Well, I used to love Starlight Express. I mean, that was a dream. I used to go every month practically, and high five with the trains as they came round. But I've really enjoyed recently Hamilton, and I've also enjoyed On the Town at Regent's Park. So I know some of you came to see that. And Into the Woods. I saw Into the Woods. The National Youth Music Theatre did it, and I remember thinking then, because I was starting to be a jazz musician, I was thinking, jazz is the thing. I don't want to go to this theatre business. But I loved it. Completely loved it. Lizzie's saying, are you having anything from Starlight on the album? There was one that was close, but instead we're going to have a song from Cats, which is this one. I wanted a song that my dad had a big hand in, and this has taken a while to get around. My dad's quite involved in the album. There's a whole secret thing that I'll tell you about nearer the time. And This is a horrible name drop, but when we play Ronnie Scott's in July, Lord Lloyd Webber, Andrew came to see me with his wife Madeline, and they came backstage afterwards. And this was the night before he got up very early to go on the Today programme, and basically clubbed the government over the head in a radio way, and say, you know, you've got to help us in the theatre industry. You can't just, you know, let theatres be the last, almost literally the last buildings they opened. So he did that very well, and so I sent him a thank you and said, nice to see you, and yeah, we got chatting about sort of repertoire, and I thought, I can't, like, after that conversation, I can't not include a song by him. I mean, he is, whatever you think of him, and, you know, sometimes I think he's an absolute genius, and sometimes I just think he's very clever, and he's made amazing amount of money. No, very, very brilliantly devised theatre. But I think at heart he's a creative, he's a musician. So I was thinking, what was Dad's proudest moment with Andrew? And it was definitely that lyric from Jellicle Songs for Jellicle Cats. So that is going in. And I won't play it tonight because it's too complicated and we've got a lot of rehearsals to do. Someone's saying Come From Away. No, I haven't seen it in the Minton household. I have not seen Come From Away. But I've heard it's amazing. I mean, that story is a thing that I think, you know, will always be, because it's based around that community in Newfoundland, isn't it? That where one of the planes landed or crash landed after 9/11. So dear Evan Hansen gets a vote. Anything Goes. Oh yeah, Anything Goes. Yes. The DOP and the 6-year-old went. Is she too young for that? She loved it. She's now obsessed with Sutton Foster. So we're all about theatre here, and it's all fantastic. Watch it online, says Ian. The last 5 years. Rachel was at Ronnie's last night. No, that night. What was I talking about? Oh yes, in July. 38 planes landed there. Good. Gracious me. This is like, oh, that's where they diverted them. Oh yes, that's why I need to see it. Yeah, what we all live for, Lizzie's put it very, very well there, is what we want in theatre is for our hearts to be ripped out of our bodies, just to be, you know, to get those moments where we're kind of, we're escaping from the day-to-day and the drudgery sometimes of life. But we also want life in the show, don't we? We want it sort of reflected back at us because we need to empathise and sympathise, and you can only do that with something that's sort of real. And that's what I've realised a lot in the last 10 years, and that's, you know, through writing for theatre, I've realised that I need to feel something, whether even then it's a funny song or silliness. You know, I think still one of the most moving shows I've ever seen was Spamalot, which sounds like a ridiculous thing, because you know, the commitment to it was just amazing, and it was human and funny and brilliant, and I loved it. I also love Mel Brooks, and shout out to him and Hadley Fraser and Ross Noble, who were in Young Frankenstein, and that was a show I thought was great, and it came off too early, I thought. So Helen says the opening from Comedy Tonight could start the album, but I'd also vote for something from High Society. Helen, those are lovely choices, and alas, we have had to lock down the track listing because the orchestrations take months, and we need to start sending things over to the theatre. But I love them. Comedy Tonight, I was listening to that the other time. That is a great shout. Maybe if we raise enough funds, we'll do a B-side album, which is part of the deluxe package, and that will have some extras, and you know, we can record some more songs. I wanted to record People Will Say We're in Love as well. Anyway, I'm giving you piecemeal bits of music. So someone was asking about the orchestra. Yeah, the Metropole Orchestre. I will be playing some of the songs we'll do with them. Yes, and Liz asked, so have I seen Metropole Orchestra live? I haven't actually. I mean, I've seen them at the proms. Did I go to one of them? No, I have just been a fan, really. I've seen them they've done lots of film and proms appearances. They're just incredible. I remember seeing the East West Divan Orchestra for the first time, which was the thing Daniel Barenboim was involved in at the proms, and they're just this, you know, it was a choir made up of people from Israel and Palestine, but brought together in music, no barriers, and that was just sheer, like, scintillating, hair on the neck stuff. And similarly with the Metropole, the way, you know, they don't play classical repertoire as such. I mean, I'm sure they can, but because they operate in a world performing with people like Gregory Porter and Laura Mavula, Jacob Collier, they, you know, they play that stuff, I think, better than anyone in the world, or that anyone in the world ever has done. Mark says, do I have a preference for writing for theatre or for an album project? Well, I'm currently writing the sequel to Zog. So Family Theatre, as some of you know, I'm currently writing songs for that. And I wrote a musical about gardening earlier in the year, and that was a joy to write that. You know, when nothing else was happening, I was just in the shed looking at my not very good garden, because I'm the head gardener. Mum. That's my Sean Bean impersonation. Yeah, so writing for theatre I love, but also working on albums is very exciting because it'll get immediately to you, you know, rather than theatre shows which not everyone can and will see. The idea of these songs just being readily available is a joy. Yes, Steve, I will need to do at least 100 theatre albums. There are so many songs, that's why it's been so hard. But let me tell you, if I can, I'm going to tell you the track listing now. So we begin with an overture. And then there's a new song of mine, which I can't do tonight because it is literally the most complicated thing I've ever done. It's all orchestral, but it's called Take Me Back to the Theatre. And it's a sort of mini musical about the frustration of just being locked out. Then Cabaret, which I'll be doing later. Lost in the Stars, which is one of my favourite ever theatre songs, written by Kurt Weill and Maxwell Anderson. And I've talked about it lots from that album, The Concert Sinatra, which is my favourite of his. And that's all theatre songs. And then from Dear Evan Hansen, Does Anybody Have a Map? And then on Broadway, which is going to be insanely fantastic. I've got special guests on that. Julian Villard's coming on. Lin-Manuel Miranda has been asked. Let me just leave that there. Mr. Matcham, which is a new song of mine. I'm going to be playing that later. That is all about Frank Matcham, Francis to his friends. The King's New Clothes is, fingers crossed again, these guests have been asked and are possibles. This is more than a possible. Tim Minchin's going to be doing a duet with me on The King's New Clothes. We're going to turn it into a sort of jazz epic poem. And then Gonna Build a Mountain. So Leslie Brickus, as you probably know, very sadly passed away about a month ago. And Leslie and my dad used to work together a lot. In fact, Dad was his first demo singer in the 60s, late 60s. So Leslie would write a song and send it over to Dad, and he'd come in and record it. And I got to meet Leslie at lunch once, and it was astonishing. You know, this is a guy who was best friends with Sammy Davis Jr. So to be able to ask him questions. And I thought I wanted to, you know, pay tribute to him and Anthony Newley, his songwriting buddy. And Gonna Build a Mountain just felt like the right sentiment, you know. It's not that well known in terms of, you know, his biggest songs like Candyman and Pure Imagination and Who Can I Turn To? But I just think it's a joy, and it's about, you know, getting back there. As Boris would say, build back mountains. Build back better, Britain, back And then the Sondheim medley. I wanted to do something about something dedicated to my children, to my daughters. And these are three I've sort of wedged together in three of my favourites. Then I'm going to do that later as well, very soon. And then a new song of mine, Bring Down the Curtain, which I've performed a couple of times in the shed. I've still been writing the lyrics to that. And then we end, possibly there's something else, but we end with Jellicle Songs for Jellicle Cats, which features about 30 pals from theatre. So we are going to have Hannah Waddingham, Trevor Dion Nicholas, Hadley Fraser, Rosalie Craig, who else is going to do it? Maria Friedman, Louise Dearman, Rebecca Traherne, yes. Oh, and whisper it, but Judi Dench is going to be on the album. Dame Judy. I mean, it's exciting, isn't it? This is what I've been doing while I've been away. So before I play, I'm just going to quickly, very quickly, for those of you who've just inveigled yourself into the Kickstarter world, what we've done is try to make, things at entry level that everyone can buy into. Yeah, and then you can get CDs, vinyl, tote bags, as you know, I love a tote bag. And then there's a theatre poster edition, and with all these, as you go up in tiers, you get all the other stuff as well, so that's fun. And then Theatre Angels, which has been very popular, you get your name printed in the album, credits, and you get the poster and you get the CD or vinyl, you get the tote bag. There's going to be a listening streaming party, one of these, Shed Show vibes, next May. And then we've made these clocks like this. This is a very special one. This is my high society theatre clock. We're actually going to make it this size. A vinyl clock, which is a glorious thing, and this keeps me company and ticks away beautifully. So that's going to be of the album, and that'll be signed. And then we're going to print the score, Tom Richards' orchestrations. By the way, we've got extra orchestrations by Callum Ow, Evan Jolly and Andrew Cotty, who are all the best, I think, and lovely. The one that I think is, it's a lot of money, but there's a reward called In the Seats. So that front cover, that album cover, that we've posted, what we're going to do is fill those seats in with great legends of theatre past. But also, if you want, your face, your beautiful face, can be just peeping out behind me. So it's going to have me going la la on the stage, and then we're going to fill the seats up. So if you'd like to do that, that would be wonderful. Plus, you get everything else in the tier that gets you you get your name in the thing, and you get the poster and the vinyl and everything signed, and I'll come and say hello. And then the bespoke song thing, which I've now got to write quite a lot of songs, which is lovely. And in fact, I will be performing a song I wrote for a private show last weekend, and they gave me their blessing to perform this song. I just thought I'd let you into the process of the kind of songs I'm intending to write. When I've done this before for writing songs for banks and things, I tended to write something funny, and it had to be quick and get to the point. But I thought, why not this? In fact, it was the DOP's idea, mainly, as all good ideas are, that I should write, try to write really nice, good songs that maybe we can pop on an album one day, and to say these are the dedications. So that's that. And then quite a high-end tier at the house concert, where I will just come to your house and do a concert with We Can Bring a Piano if needed. And then the last one, which I just thought, you know, there might be someone crazy with lots and lots and lots of money who might want to do this, which is to accompany me and Tom and Steve and the label out to Hilversum. You'd fly to Amsterdam, stay the night in the hotel, and then come to the studio and be a part of the session. Maybe even get your voice recorded, and for 2 people, and then we'd fly you home. And I think that's a slightly crazy thing to do, and we've had to ask especially that we can do that with the orchestra. So if you know anyone who might like that kind of thing, I know it's a lot of money, and I was never expecting anyone to do that, but you know, there might be the odd Bill Gates out there who just likes to see what a studio's like, especially likes to see a 50-piece symphony orchestra and rhythm section from Hottsville, Arizona, making lovely music. Plus in that, obviously, you get name in the album, vinyl, all the stuff. So blah, blah, blah. That's all the rewards. I don't have to keep selling it because I have been talking a lot and I appreciate that. So go and win the lottery. And here comes the recital. Thank you so much. I can't keep saying that. Well, I mean, I can keep saying it, and I will, and I'm sorry if that's... And I know even those of you who have signed up today to be a part of this, 15 quid is not nothing. So thank you, because it means a lot that, you know, I've sort of forced you to pay to watch me. So, thank you. What good is sitting all alone in your room? Come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Put down the knitting, the book, and the broom. It's time for a holiday. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Some prophet of doom to wipe every smile away. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Come taste the wine, come hear the band, come blow your horn, start celebrating. Right this way your table's waiting. What good's permitting some prophet of doom? Wipe every smile away. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Have a girlfriend known as Elsie, with whom I shared 4 sordid rooms in Chelsea. She wasn't what you'd call a blushing flower. As a matter of fact, she rented by the hour. The day she died, the neighbors came to snicker. Well, that's what comes from too much pills and liquor. And when I saw her laid out like a queen, she was the happiest corpse I'd ever seen. I think of Elsie to this very day. I remember how she turned to me and said, what good is sitting all alone in your room? Come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, old chums, come to the cabaret. And as for me, I made my mind up back in Chelsea. When I go like Elsie. Start by admitting, from cradle to tomb, it isn't that long to stay. Life is a cabaret, old chum, only a cabaret, old chum. Life is a cabaret, old chum, and I love you. I love a cabaret. I need a drink of water after that. So that's going to be track 3, and that is going to feature the very sort of big bandy bit of the orchestra, big band and strings. Well, when I was talking to Tom about it, I was saying I kind of want it to be, you know, when we've been doing it live, it sort of sometimes descends into madness, you know, heartbreak and madness. So it's going to be a mixture of Bernstein and Gershwin, who are probably my 2 favourite theatre composers ever. So that's kind of what we've gone for. So there's this crazy, you know, bit in the middle, which is going to be lovely.
It's going to be lovely.
So that's Cabaret, and that's Candor and Ebb. And the Proctors, I know, are going to see it on Thursday, Cabaret. Rachel's, did you say you were going to see it? So Cabaret is on in the West End. I didn't know that when I decided to put this song in, but it's quite good timing because that show's going to be huge. Jessie Buckley, Eddie Redmayne, my friend AJ, Anna Jane Casey, I don't know why I'm doing this now. Something I've picked up, along with exclamation marks. Something I've taken up in lockdown. What have you taken up? Some hems.
I've taken up some hems, Mr. Grimsdale.
Now this one is the only one that doesn't feature the orchestra, but it features a violinist, and I can't tell you who that is à ce moment. It's a duet with one of the world's great violinists, and I can't quite believe it's going to happen, and I can't say yet, but you know, just to even think about this song with this musician on top just gives me the tingles, because this is an amazing song. Most of you probably don't know, but again, Sinatra did it on the Concert Sinatra, and I sort of lifted it from that, and it's called Lost in the Stars. The show is called Lost in the Stars, which I haven't seen, but I've always loved Kurt Weill's music. I think he writes stuff that really gets straight to your heart. Mark, I can't say. I cannot say. So yeah, this is Lost in the Stars. sea and land. He held the stars in the palm of his hand, and they ran through his fingers like grains of sand, and one little star fell alone. So the Lord God hunted through the wide night air for the little dark star on the wind down there, and he stated and promised to take special care so it wouldn't get lost again. Now a man don't mind if the stars grow dim and the clouds blow over and darken him, so long as the Lord God's watching over him, making track of it all goes on. But I've been walking through the night, through the day, till my eyes get weary and my head turns grey. And sometimes it seems maybe God's gone away, forgetting the promise that we've heard him say. And we're lost out here in the stars, little stars, big stars, blowing through the night. And we're lost out here in the stars. Through the night, through the day, till my eyes get weary and my head turns grey. And sometimes it seems maybe God's gone away, forgetting the promise that we've heard him say. And we're lost out here in the stars, little stars, big stars, blowing through the night. And we're lost out here in the Still going. Still going. So I also think the lyrics of that song, they kind of, yeah, that sort of mid-pandemic, what is happening? Anyway, this next one is completely new to everyone, and it's called Mr. Matcham. So when I started playing in theatres, performing in theatres, I would often be looking up at the proscenium arch and the boxes and everything, and just looking in awe. And often the theatre manager would come up and go, "Well, it's a Matcham theatre," and I never knew what that was. Like, what are these Matcham theatres? Matcham, I suppose it's like it's like a dating agency for theatres. Match 'em and join 'em. Turned out that it's a guy called Frank Matcham, theatre architect, the greatest ever theatre architect. Certainly in terms of volume. I mean, he designed over 150. Most of them aren't still standing. If they are still standing, they're not theatres. Anyway, I'll talk about Matcham in a bit. Just a few questions. Hello, John Courtney. Guys, we've got royalty here. We've got one of the country's finest singing, pianoing entertainers, John Courtney. What a thrill to have you here, John. And so lovely to see you at Crazy Cox. Your show is magnificent. Hope your tour's been okay. And joyous and everything. And John and I first met on a cruise ship, and he was brilliant, and I was playing cocktail piano, and he was knocking them dead in the main show. And then he won Britain's Got Talent, because he has got talent. Thank you, John. And someone is asking, how's the director of photography? She's okay. She's fine. I already had COVID, so when our 6-year-old got it, I sort of, I only had it 3 months ago or 4, can't remember. Anyway, I felt okay. So she's been living in fear of getting it. Maybe she has had it. Anyway, she's fine. Ray says, what are the chances of an album UK tour? Well, again, Boris, build back Britain, Blighty, tour buses. Yes, some of you have just twigged that it is that, John. So, the album is going to be launched. We're going to do a London show at the Barbican on May the 2nd. I'm telling you that as a heads up. It's not on sale yet. I will let you know when it is. But it will be on sale, I think, first week of December. So we're going to be there with the BBC Concert Orchestra. We could not get the Metropoles over, but the BBC Concert Orchestra are basically the equivalent in this country. And then we're going to do a short tour in the spring, not with orchestra, but with the small band with Ben and Tom and Giacomo and other assorted goodies. And then hopefully in the autumn, some more orchestral things around the country in Manchester, Glasgow, Birmingham, Gateshead, Bournemouth, basically everywhere with a regional orchestra we're trying to play. So that's exciting.
That's very exciting.
My stool has become increasingly squeaky. Richard says, yes, Turner Sims. Well, that hopefully is going to be on the tour. Definitely. Northern Ireland, I would love to. Where can I play in Northern Ireland that would have me and I would get a crowd? Can you suggest something, Lisa? Can you send me a message? Send a message to info@joestilgoe.com and I'd love to play in Northern Ireland. In fact, if Christine's there, hello. Smintso says String Fever. Yeah, I know String Fever as well. I know, is that Giles and those guys? Very good. Yes, North American tour, definitely. Please come to Snape, definitely. Come to Derry, Millennium Forum. That sounds massive. I'm gonna say, I only have 3 people there. Ulster Hall, says Annie. Oh, is that with? Yeah, we're hopefully going to get to Dublin with the RTE. That would be fun. Anyway, so this is a song about Frank Matcham. I didn't want to write a song that you might expect about Frank Matcham, which might sound like a Gilbert and Sullivan. So I've written a sort of kind of 10cc meets ELO meets Beach Boys meets Stevie Wonder sort of pop song. And yes, of course I will come to Lanzarote. I love Lanzarote. Land of black sand? Is that Tenerife? Yeah, can't wait for Pizza Express Friday night. That's going to be fun. London Jazz Festival, guys, if you feel like doing anything in London, there's some great gigs on. So here's Mr. Matcham. And it's kind of a normal song. And then there's a bit in the middle where we've got all of the Matcham theatres to shout out their names. So it's going to be a huge thing. And this is the bit that Simon Callow is going to do the thing. So there. I'm name dropping like an old, like Joan Collins. God, whistling is really hard when you've been talking. No, I've got no whistle. Standing on hallowed ground, this is where Frank Matcham found his stride. Look at all his grand designs, the way the outside intertwines with what you get when you step inside. If you're the type who enjoys a bit of gilding, an architrave or an interlaced facade, though the show isn't all about the building, without the building it's pretty hard. Come and show your love for Mr. Matcham. Come and show how much you'd like to thank him for these feats of engineering. We'll be clapping, we'll be cheering. We all know that it's best to be frank. You know the Bristol Hippodrome or the Hackney Empire Dome. Surely you've seen the London Palladium. Blackpool Tower, the Colosseum, stately power, are the match of any kind of stadium. There's a saying in the world of architecture that the details will bring you close to God. But to stop this becoming another lecture, to lend a hand, I brought my band, and that's where it gets big. Come and show your love for Mr. Matcham. Show how much you'd like to thank him for these feats of engineering. We'll be clapping, we'll be cheering. We all know that it's best to be frank. Oh, you know that he invented air conditioning. This is where the choir joined me, of course. So that when you're in a theatre you can positioning. His cantilever was a very revolutionary. Look up, look up, look up. Design, build, move on. So this is where we get all the theatres to shout out their names. Tower Power of Blackpool, except I can't speak well enough. Everyman Theatre Cheltenham. Grand Theatre Blackpool, Theatre Royal Wakefield, Grand Theatre Lancaster, Grand Opera House Belfast, Theatre Royal Nottingham, Olympia Liverpool, Buxton Opera House, Devonshire Park Theatre Eastbourne, Royal Hall Harrogate, King's Theatre Glasgow, King's Theatre Southsea, Richmond Theatre, Shepherd's Bush, he's the guy we have to thank. Show your love for Mr. Matcham. It means that much, to be frank. Show your love for Mr. Matcham. It means that much, to be frank. Show your love for Mr. Matcham. It means that much. Show your love for Mr. Matcham. Come and show how much you do thank him for these feats of engineering. We'll be clapping, we'll be cheering. We all know, we all know, we all know. Right, I'm just going to plug the phone in. If it paused, I got a low power mode, which we don't like. So that's that. Slightly frightened of playing that on my own, because all these things, like I said before, have been kind of designed to be orchestral, and it's very hard. It's very hard, and so much of the music is sort of in the orchestrations. But there we go. So we move quickly on to Sondheim. Thank you, everyone. You're the best audience, and I love you. So as I said before, these songs I was thinking about childhood, wanting to include that. You know, our first trips to the theatre are so formative, and taking our daughters to the theatre is a joy. Seeing them just, sitting there after, weeks afterwards, just reading programs and having a lovely time. I've gone a bit dark. No, that's fine. It's fine. So yes, I wanted to include these 3 songs. 2 of them are from Into the Woods. One of them is from Sweeney Todd. But they're all. I think Sondheim writes better than anyone about wisdom and passing on. Oddly, he never had children, but he knows more about it than anyone, in a way. I don't know how. He's a very good uncle. So it begins like this. No more questions, please. No more tests. Comes the day you say, what for, please, no more. No more giants waging war. Can't we just pursue our lives with our children and our wives till that happy day arrives? How do you ignore all the witches, all the curses, all the wars, all the lies, the false hopes, the goodbyes, the reverses, all the wondering what even worse is still in store? All the children, all the giants, no more. Nothing's gonna harm you, not while I'm around. Nothing's gonna harm you, no sir, not while I'm around. Demons are prowling everywhere nowadays. I'll send them howling, I don't care. I've got wings. Nothing's gonna hurt you, no one's gonna dare. Others can't desert you, not to worry, whistle, I'll be there. Demons will charm you with a smile for a while, but in time nothing can harm you, not while I'm careful the things you say, children will listen. Careful the things you do, Be careful before you say, listen to me. Children will listen. What's gonna hurt you while I'm around? Others can desert you, not to worry, whistle, I'll be there. Sorry. Demons will charm you with a smile for a while, but in time, nothing can harm you. Nothing can harm you. Nothing can harm you. Not while I'm around. Ah! Got a bit stuck on the lyrics at the end just because I was a bit emotional. Thank you, everyone. That was the Sondheim business, and the orchestration to that I've just heard. My computer's just turned off, and that's quite exciting. My computer's just turned off. Which is fine, but it means I can't see your chattings. I want to be able to see them. So. Yes, it's beautiful what Callum has done. Callum Hour has done this orchestration just for the string orchestra and the brass and the woodwind. And it's a joy. Ah! Hold on, guys. It's all happening here. Right. We've lost the light. Okay. We're powering up. This is exciting, isn't it? I mean, when I say exciting, petrifying. 70 minutes. Gosh, I never thought I'd actually do this much. And somehow you're all still here. And that's why I love you guys. Okay. Chat disconnected. Please wait while we're trying to reconnect you. So I mentioned earlier these bespoke songs. I'm just going to turn this back on. Hold your horses. So songs I write for people, and on Sunday I had the pleasure of performing for the Proctors. Sorry, I just completely outed you there. And it was a lovely event, and I'm also doing one for Rachel Ellis, and I thought it'd be quite nice to play this song tonight. Are we all okay? DOP required for technical assistance. Yeah. Are we okay? give me a thumb. So, yeah, if you would like a song written for you, how dare you? How dare you? It's just because it's gone on so long, and I've brought my computer over here. Great. Linda says we are more than okay, which makes me feel happy. So, how many times have I said so? I'm going to do this song, which I wrote for them, and they've kindly let me sing it. So it's called Stick, because when I talked to Chris about what he wanted the song to be, he just said, you know, we realised that, you know, as a family we always stick together, and that's the most important thing. The gimbal, Lizzie, is nowhere near. I mean, we're on a stand here. Free the DOB. Free the DOB. So this is this is a little snippet of this song called Stick. And I tried to write it with no jokes in it, with a couple of things sneaked in. If we all stick together, we'll get through it. If we all stick together, we'll be fine. I really hope we never say they blew it. They didn't order quite enough red wine. As we join here with friends and with family, the ones we know will always make us tick. Look at all the people brought together. Together we're good. Together we click. Together we stick. You might think that it's easier going solo. You might like the noise of a one-man band. But what's the point when it comes to that last Rolo? There is no one there to take your hand. If we all share the memories that have made us, and someone know when things aren't going right, we have to worry about the weather. When we're together, there's plenty of light. So we'll sing something special round the piano, while Stilgoe tries to play the right music. The Musketeers, Chris and Christine, Grace and Dano. Together we're good. Together we stick. So we'll sing something special round the piano. The Yamaha sounds in perfect nick. We're pretty pleased that things have gone to plan. Oh, together we're good. Together we click, together we stick. Together we are, together we'll be, together we'll stay as a family. Together we are, together we'll be. You know what to do, it's a proc to do. Together we're good, together we click, together we're fine, together we stick. This is a sing-along. Together we're good, together we click, together we're fine, together we stick. As we join here with friends and with family, the ones we know will always make us tick. Look at all the people brought together. Together we're good. Together we click. Together we stick. So within that, to find rhymes for piano, I unfortunately had to augment Daniel's name to Dano, and I told him before, but he still gave me a look as I sang it to him. So if you like a song like that, and you've got lots of money lying around, get one. If you don't have lots of money, maybe we can come to some arrangement. I'd love to write songs about all of you, or only if you want them. So that's that. Now I'm going to do just one more, because technology will almost certainly get the better of us. Thank you, Chris, and thank you to all the proctors. Thanks for having me, and also thank you to Rachel and all the Ellises for having me earlier in the summer for the first house concert, outdoors, beautiful day. And I'm still writing Rachel's song, which is going to be a song for sort of all the shedders, really, and will arrive in time for Christmas. Richard Wilson says, quick update, Joe, Tina and her hedgehogs are all doing well. That's fantastic news. I forgot we talked about hedgehogs while I was being attacked by marauding squirrels. The spined, the quilled creatures of the earth, the beautiful hedgehogs, were doing well in the Willamette. Not Willamette, Tina and Richard's. Oh, I've got the wrong name.
I've only got the wrong name. Oh dear.
So yes, so I'm going to end this shed show. Before I do, another huge thank you to all of you for chipping in. It really has completely made my year. The idea that I could record with an orchestra like this was always a dream, really, a complete dream. And when they said yes, but it costs this much, I thought, right, okay, woo, can we do this? But the label have been fantastic. They're called Westway Music, and they've just literally launched last week with an album by Samantha Barks, and they've got loads of stuff coming up, and it's very exciting, to be at the birth of a new label, and the label is pushing and celebrating theatre performers, really, which is a great thing. There used to be a label called First Night Records, and I don't think they exist anymore, but they always used to be that. If you wanted to get a cast recording or a solo album by someone in a show, they were the ones who had the pockets for that. So now it's Westway. So I'm going to end with this song, which was the second one I wrote for the album. It's played it before, and we've thank you, John, and I've taken it down a semitone, which has made all the difference, I think. And I really, really, really can't wait for you to hear it with the orchestra, because you might have heard orchestral records before, but when you listen to something with the Metropole, also they have amazing engineers and an amazing studio, and it gives it that sense of space, and it's not sort of strings and brass sort of squashed into your ears, and everything is featured, and I'm really gladdened by the whole thing. And as I said, May the 2nd at the Barbican in London will be launching, and if you do have any ideas for tour dates, please send them. For instance, if you run a regional arts theatre, send it in info@joestilgoe.com, particularly Northern Ireland and Lanzarote. Anyway, where can I go? It does not go like that. That's why we have only just taken it down. It does not have the Bernstein. Let's try again. Here we stand on our own, nothing planned, nothing known, waiting for something to start. Where's the map? Where's the key? spinning round aimlessly. Used to know this one by heart. We might be sad, we might be lost, we might be missing the crowd. So meet me here, we'll know what to do. Open our arms, sing it out loud. Bring down the curtain, turn on the light. Tell all the people it'll all be alright. If we hang on till morning, there's a brand new scene. It might not be one that you know. You can bring down the curtain, but don't stop the show. All we hear, all we thought, every scene, all of it taken away. Clinging on by a thread, but we're not gone like someone said. We'll be back as soon as they say.